Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery, and I know I'm a little late today. Sorry about that. Um, I got a new phone, so I had to get all the settings and everything for the live set up on it. So it took me a little bit, and I had to close the store down. So I hope you're all doing well out there. If you're out there, please say hello. Type in the comments. Say hello. Let me know you're out there. I'm going to ask you to please share this video. We had as many of you know, we've talked about it already a little bit, but we had COVID and we were not doing lives. We had COVID for about 2 weeks and we completely quarantined. I know they say that you can go out after, 7 days or whatever, but we wanted to be hyper sure and hyper careful. So we quarantined for about 12 full days and then even a little bit after that. And we didn't do any lives during that time. So our viewership has gone down, 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 down. One of the things with social media is that if you don't do it every day, if you don't do something every single day, your ratings start to drop, and they drop pretty fast. So because we were not available and we were sick and we weren't able to do the lives, you get penalized for that. So it's a little bit crazy, but that's where we are right now. So if you're out there, please say hi. Please hit the share button. Share this with your friends. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Twitter. Share it wherever you are on social media, please, for us. Help us get that viewership back up. We have a lot of wonderful things. We did a trunk show with Hannah Rossner on Friday. If you missed that trunk show, I posted the photos as an album on Facebook, on our Facebook page. And I did that because the viewership on that video was so low compared to what we normally are used to. We appreciate all of you out there who were watching, but if you did miss that and you're just finding us here on this video, you can check that album for anything that is remaining. There are a good number of pieces left, unfortunately. Fortunately for you all if you didn't see it, but unfortunately for us, because we like to do well with these trunk shows. The best thing when we get the trunk shows is that it helps us and it helps another small business. And when we don't do well, no one does well, right? So hopefully you saw that. If you didn't, the album is up there with the prices and the lot numbers for everything that you can see. And if you'd like anything, just send us an email like you normally would. If you're local, you can come and check them out in store. We'll have them in store and available there or here. But if you are not local, you can send us an email and request anything that way. We'll check if anything's been sold in the store and see if your items are there. Hello, Donna. Hello, Norma. Thank you both for tuning in. And thank you for watching on YouTube. YouTube is a part of our next big planning. And we need you all to watch on YouTube as much as possible. If you've missed something, please watch the replays on YouTube. I often link the YouTube replays in any of the posts that I make because we need a certain number of watched hours. YouTube tracks how many hours people watch us, and they track that in like a 365-day rolling period. So, each day falls off of the rolling period and each new day adds on to it. So we need a certain number. And of course we lost 2 weeks worth of viewership. So we really can use all of you watching as much as possible on YouTube to get us up to that number so that we can possibly apply to be monetized. Y'all who are watching probably have heard me say this time and time again, so I'm not going to go over it again, but please watch on YouTube. It helps a lot. We want to invest the time and the effort into YouTube, but in order to do that, we have to have a reason to do that. We're kind of, some people say do it and then it'll all happen, but maybe not. So if we have a reason to do that and we can get some monetization money from YouTube, get that YouTube money, as Andrew says, then we'll be able to invest more time in that. Hello, Marianne. Thank you for tuning in. Just paid your invoice. Thank you so much. I did invoice everybody who claimed anything during the trunk show. I just got the invoices out today, so please check your emails if you've not yet today. Those invoices are out and ready for you. We are if I missed anybody, if you did not get an invoice from me, let me know. Send me another email. I did check spam, so I made sure to check spam. But if you didn't get an email, maybe you typed in info@allegorygallery.com wrong or something like that. The email went to the wrong place. Yeah, I did invoice everyone for Hannah's trunk show today. So if you did not get an email, I did not get your email if you did not get an invoice, okay? Norma, I was only able to give partial attention to the trunk show live, so I'm glad that you posted what is still available. I'm giving my budget a look so I can possibly purchase something. Thank you so much, Norma. We appreciate it. I'm sure Hannah appreciates it too. And let's see here. Amanda, hello. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, today I want to go over a few things today. So we're going to chat for just a little bit, and we're going to talk about in-store classes a little bit. And I know a lot of you out there who are watching right now, who watch our lives, are not local. But I think people who watch our rewatches sometimes are. So I just want to go over a few things, and talk about those a little bit. We have some news and some things that are happening. One of the biggest things I want to talk about is our sale ends today. So this is a sale on anything in the online store. Yes, I even went crazy and I put the AG fine pewter line in there. Normally we don't do a sale on the pewter line because the prices are so low already. We don't have a lot of margin on them. But I thought for the anniversary sale, we'll put the fine pewter on sale. So you can get 20% off all of the fine pewter line, anything in the online store, including Andrew's artwork. Any of his artwork that's in there, you can save 20% off right now. Every gemstone, every bead, every pendant, every charm, anything in the online store, you can save 20%. There are thousands of items in the online store, all handpicked by us and, kind of approved by us. They are things that, we don't post anything, we don't sell you anything that we couldn't see ourselves using in our own works. We only want to sell you quality. We don't want to sell you cheap junk, just to keep prices low. Some of the prices have increased here recently, and that is the way the world is going right now, but we're not going to pick up cheap junk to sell to you. So anything in the online store right now is available for 20% off using the code anniversary. Use that code, save 20%. If you didn't know about this sale, maybe you missed our lives or missed us talking about it. I have been selling out or sending out emails like crazy about the sale. So if you're not on our email list, please join. You can go to the bottom of any page on our website, and there's a place in the lower right-hand corner. If you're on a desktop or laptop, if you're on a phone, it should be right at the bottom to join. Just put your email in and hit subscribe, and that will get you on our email list. We send out important notices that way. As Andrew said, we had a couple of folks say they haven't been getting notifications for our lives since we were off to recover from COVID. He says the algorithm is not forgiving. It's true. We took some time off because we were sick. We could not do the lives. We didn't have the energy, and you would not have wanted to see my face sick doing the lives. So please share this video. The algorithms are not pushing it out there. We normally get 30 to 40 people watching. We're lucky to get 20, like right now we're at 17. On social media, if you're not doing stuff every single day, it forgets about you. And that's just the way it is. So let's see who is out there with us so far. Susan. Okay, I'm on YouTube. Thank you so much. I got my invoice, surprised and pleased by what I got. Good. I'm glad you're happy with your yield. Hello, Sharon. Thank you for joining us. Suzanne is with us. AG Bead Fam, thank you so much for joining us. Susan said, I blew my budget on Hannah's trunk show. That's okay. Help us all, right? Helps us, helps Hannah as well. So thank you all for joining us out there. So our sale ends today, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. So pretty much midnight Eastern Time. It's always weird when we do midnight because the system thinks the day before, it's weird. So I like to make sure it's 11:59 p.m. today so that no matter what system, it gets it right. So 11:59 p.m. Eastern time today, our sale ends. That's 20% off everything, including the AG Fine Pewter line, including any of the wooden cutout pendants, including all the high-end gemstones that are in the online store. Tons of stuff on sale right now. Andrew says, I'm thinking about removing my artwork from the online store. One of our business coaches recommended that I release things as debuts instead of having things perennially available. So there you go. If you want any of Andrew's artwork, get it now. It may not be available for long. And yeah, so of course, the items from the trunk show, they're not 20% off. Anything in the physical store is not 20% off. We only did that for the online store because that's where we honestly put most of the things. And most of the things in the physical store have crossovers. Not everything though. But you can still save, and you can save until 11:59 p.m. All right, let's see who else. John says, found you in my feed on Facebook and subscribed on YouTube and signed up for the newsletter. Thank you so much, John. We really appreciate that. We're just a small bead company coming out of Ligonier, Pennsylvania. That's in Western Pennsylvania. And, you know, we're trying hard to spread the word that we're here. We just celebrated our 11th year in business. We're starting on our 12th now. And, you know, we're trying to do big, great things. We have, for those of you who don't know, we have our bead store Allegory Gallery here. And we started that in 2011. Then we last year purchased a building called Star Cottage Studio. That is our jewelry workshop where we make things for the store. Andrew has done a limited number of private classes there. We have our shipping department there. I plan to very possibly start a pottery studio there. I'm hoping get my pottery going. We have our bead room there. We make a lot of our kits and a lot of our products there. And then this year, we have purchased a building in Johnstown, for those of you who may be in that area. And we will be starting a contemporary jewelry gallery in Johnstown. And so, you know, we have a lot of ideas of what we want to do. And we were talking with our business coach a little bit. And, you know, our vision for what we want, you know, we're getting there. It's very important to us to have physical locations, excuse me, to have physical locations because we can teach people. And we can create community and create a creative community, right? That's something that is these days is starting to lack in school systems. They're pulling out of arts, they're pulling out of music. And we, in some small ways, feel it's up to us to keep that going because the arts are so very important to both Andrew and I. And so, Andrew and me. And so we are, you know, in a time when we could have closed our store, throughout this pandemic, and it probably would have made it a lot easier on us. We have kept it open because we see a bright future for creatives and people who want to make things. So we start with Allegory Gallery, the place where you can buy supplies and make things, make jewelry, make creative things. And then we move to having a contemporary jewelry gallery where we try to hit up and try to get, you know, some of, you know, the people who are doing contemporary things and making, you know, different things and beautiful things. And so once we create these makers and they're making things, hopefully we can tap into some of that and pull into the gallery, and we have a place to showcase their work. Ultimate goals and bigger goals past that, we would love to, and we've always talked about this, we would love to have a school and really, you know, bring a big creative force. You know, we're a small creative force right now. But if we can set up a school at some point and really expand upon that, we can create a large creative force where we can teach people how to make things even more. We can have supplies for things. We can have a place to show the things that have been made. We can kind of bring back this area in Western Pennsylvania is very well known, Pittsburgh, Johnstown, and even on the other side, Bethlehem, on the other side of Pennsylvania, very well known for the steel industry. And so metalworking is a big part of this, and making things is a big part of this area's history, and we would like to bring all that together. So when you support us, that's what you're supporting. You're supporting a vision of bringing learning, bringing education, and bringing creativity to this area that can be shared by anybody who visits. Our store is open 7 days a week. We'll see if that changes coming up. We're thinking about some changes. We'll see what happens. Possibly necessary changes, right? But we're here for you right now. We're here for you. We want you to come in. We want you to learn. We want you to, practice. We want you to be creative. And that's why our local classes are so important. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk about the classes today. Andrew says, when we get the toilet at Star Cottage Studio, which is one of the reasons we don't do as much there, we might offer more classes at the cottage, but we'll see. Andrew says, I also like to set up a publishing company that is dedicated to the crafts. So much has moved online, and that's awesome, but I would love to have beautifully produced publications. Yeah, Andrew and I are both into like magazines. Like, I love holding a magazine. I still subscribe to some paper magazines because I've just, even as much as I'm a digital person, I've not found that same feeling, right? So with that, we both have wanted publications. We both, see that there are people out there like Amanda who really misses the bead magazines, right? There are people out there who miss this stuff. And are there enough to make something sustainable? I don't know. But if we can continue doing what we want to do, and we can continue building this whole, creative expanse and this idea that we want to do, hopefully we can bring that into it as well. Susan says, my husband taught art for 30 years. He learned from one of his PhD forums that the loss of arts in education is being apparent in mass culture. Less innovation in TVs and movies. Kids can identify fewer colors. Overall, less creativity. I believe that. Excuse me. Sorry, I still have a cough. I'm still working on that. And it's really sad, that so much of that is being lost because, books that we read, magazines, music, TV, movies, all of that is part of the arts. And people, for some reason, don't connect the majority of what they do, in their life. Like, a large part of our time is spent reading or watching TV or watching movies or, doing all that kind of stuff. But whenever we think about classes and kids, for some reason, we don't think that's important. It's so weird. And so anyway, getting off on a tangent again, which we are, want to do. Anyway, classes in store are very important to us. And we wanted to be careful coming back from the pandemic and through the pandemic that we did things that, were safe. And we are having classes again. We're having them on Fridays, most Fridays. If you're local, please stop in. The instruction is completely free for the classes. We only ask you to pay for the materials you choose to use. And we do ask you to buy materials from us, at least the majority of them. You can bring a few things from home if you want, but we do ask that you use our materials. If you don't, we can still offer instruction, but we do have to charge for it. So that's, it's one of those things, but I think that's fair. I think that's fair to ask that if we're giving you free instruction, you buy your materials from us. Jen Tucson, who many of you know, her company, she has another company called JNT Creations, and she sells wonderful things. You can find her on Etsy if you'd like to. As Andrew says, yeah, paying for your materials is how we pay the teacher. So, because we're not asking to pay for her instruction, right? So, JNT Creations, wonderful company. She does, home remedies, kind of naturally made things. Somebody just had an order on our website. Thank you so much for that. And so she makes wonderful things, but she's also a wonderful wire wrapper and jewelry making instructor. So she comes in And she teaches everyone on Fridays whatever they would like to learn. That's how we work. So we don't have a custom project that you have to make. You come in and we customize your project for you. We help you walk around the store, find things, because it can be overwhelming. And so we help you every step of the way. You come in. If you want to pick stuff out on yourself, that's fine. You can do that. But if you need help, we help you do that. So we take a look around. We walk around with you. We pick stuff out, and then we come back to the table where I'm sitting now, and Jen will help you put it together. And she will show you how to put it together, give you advice on how to, lay things out, because some people don't know how to design, right? And there's no right or wrong way, but there are tips and tricks that you can use that might make it look a little better. So she helps you with that. The nice thing about classes is we generally do get a number of people in, thankfully. Yay. So it's a nice place to meet people, especially if you're new to town or new to the area and you're looking for friends who are creative. It's a good place to come in and meet people. And we can also schedule private classes if you'd like. We know that Fridays from noon to 4 doesn't match everyone's schedule. So if you get a group of, 4, 5, 6 people together, we can offer you a private class. And those generally we do charge because it's a special time. It's not a time that we're already open. So we have to open the store. We have to ask, find a time for you and find a time for Jen that mesh. And so you can talk to us about that by sending us an email at info@allegorygallery.com if you're interested in that. I'm going to show you a little bit of Jen's wire wrapping work. This is compared to what she can do, this is basic stuff, but this is kind of to show you, where you can get started. We've recently brought in a lot of tumbled rocks again, and we've restocked our tumbled rock collection, and I've shown some videos of that and some photos. And so Jen has been taking a few just here and there in between teaching people and doing things and wire wrapping a few of them. So I wanted to show you those. So I'll show you those in a little bit. And I'm also going to show you some stuff from around the store. I started doing some Williams favorites, so I started picking some of my favorite things. And I was like, you know what? Let's look at these things and let's kind of gear them toward autumn a little bit. So these are some of my favorites for autumn designing, all right? And just checking out. So let's see. Let me go back in the comments here and see if I missed anything. Sandra says, I still buy magazines. I still get a rock magazine and love it, right? Yeah, I love magazines. Norma says, definitely miss bead magazines and local bead stores. Yeah, we're one of the few, there's not a lot around in the country anymore. And knock on wood, we're still here. We're still trying to grow and do new things. So, that's why we thank you so much for your support out there. Even if you're not local to us, you can buy anything in our store and we'll invoice it and ship it out to you because, that's the way the world works right now. If we had to rely on just local traffic, we would not be here. I mean, that's exactly what it is. So, or maybe we'd be here and we'd be here like part-time and have other jobs to support the rest of it. This is important to us, but you have to make a living too. So we thank you all out there who do work with us and shop distant locally, I guess. And thank you for supporting our small business that way. Let's see. Susan says it's deliberate. Curriculum is being limited to standardized test taking, at least in the public school sphere. Yeah, even when I was growing up, it was a lot of standardized testing, which is, leaves very little room for creativity. And I must say, I grew up very academic. I was somebody who studied and, I did well that way. I was not somebody who was pushed into a creative atmosphere much at all. So even back then, it was something that was getting to be hard. Marianne thinks that was you. Thank you, Marianne, for the order. Andrew says, I love that sound. Me too. That little cha-ching sound. Love to hear that, especially at the end of our sale, 20% off. Code anniversary to save 20% off everything. Norma says, I wish I was local so I could get some wire wrapping instruction from Jen. Yes. Yeah. Jen is good at it. I'm going to show you some of her pieces so you can see just some of her simple stuff that she's done. I don't have any of her of her, you know, bigger stuff. But I'll show you some of the simple stuff that she does in the spare time while before people come in for the day for classes, or while she's, you know, in between teaching people. She's just working on stuff herself too. Let's see here. Let's see what else is going on. All right. All right. So let's flip this camera around, and we're going to take a look at some things, some stuff. I have my penny. I have my penny here. And Marion got all AG fine pewter since it was a special occasion. Thank you. Yeah, we do not put the AG fine pewter on sale much at all, because the like I said, the margins on that are low. But we did for the anniversary. Oh, excuse me. Oh, there's another sale. Thank you so much, whoever that was. Looks like it was our friend Donna. That popped up for me this time. Andrew says, I would love to make publications like Salvage. Beautiful photography, beautiful paper, curated academic writing. I would love to tell the stories of how things are made and collaborate with artists to create publications that are truly the voice of the artist and made in a format that reflects their uniqueness. Yeah, that would be fun. I would totally love creating publications. I've always wanted to have my own magazine. That's one thing. Another thing, always wanted to own a small business. Did that. And always wanted to own my own magazine. I always thought that would be cool. But we'll see someday, maybe. Right? Okay, I'm gonna flip the camera around. You're gonna see the ceiling for a little bit as I get my stand here wound down, and then we're going to flip the camera around and get to looking at some stuff. All right. All right. Here's my backdrop. And I'm going to take a drink, but sometimes taking a drink actually makes it worse because it gets stuck in my throat. Anyway, okay, so we're going to look at some of Jen's wire wrapping. These are very basic pieces that Jen has wire wrapped. See my new phone? Hey, another cell. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Boy. I'm going to have to get used. My camera is now acting like Andrew's camera because this is a new phone. So I can only go this close. So hopefully you can see that okay. I feel like I used to go closer when I had my other camera. That's weird. Okay, so this is very basic wire wrapping by Jen. Just to show you how you can start out. She makes these as samples so that people know that they can take these tumbled pendants with no holes on them at all, and you can wrap them so that you can use them as pendants and make your own bail, wire wrapped, and do that. Now, she also can do more intricate, more intricate things like this. Whoops. Getting things popping up on my screen here. So you can see she wire wrapped these around. Hopefully you can see that. I'm having trouble getting used to this new camera. And wire wrapped around these, more wire wrapping around wire wrapping, making coils. So you can do that. And then in this one, she added beads as she went around in the coils and got a little bit more ornate with it. And these are just, like I said, these are quick things that she's doing just in between students asking questions, and as they're working, she likes to work on things as well. Donna says, we didn't have art when I was in school. We did have music, and I took art and music appreciation classes in college. I learned a lot from those classes. Yep, just placed one for some Czech Glass. Thank you so much, Donna. We appreciate that. Andrew says, like zines. I love zines, right? Marianne says, she had art school and classes. That's nice. Andrew says, I remember when Cynthia came out with her book and we had to push and push to get more artistic and unique. They fought back so much to make it basic, more basic. Susan says, Andrew, I had no idea that happened. Susan says, I love the addition of beads in the wire wrapping, right? I thought that was cool. She added those. Boy, I wish I could get closer. I don't know. I have to look at these settings, if there's something. But I know Andrew's camera is like this too, because I used to be able to go up here, and now I have to go down here. So hopefully you can see that okay. All right. Yeah, Andrew and Cynthia fought hard to make Cynthia's book what it was. I'm sure they would have liked to do even more, but we would like to do something, that really pulls in the artist and the their vision of things. Sorry, everybody. I don't know why, but as soon as I start talking any amount of time, I start coughing. I get kind of like congestion in my throat. So that's what that is. But luckily I'm not sick, so I will take this over being sick, that's for sure. Amanda says, I love how the moonstone is wire wrapped, right? It's a beautiful wrap. And just something she did quickly, Like, that's pretty amazing for doing it quick. Harry says, I shifted from science to art as a major in college. Painting, ceramics, and photography were most of my studies. That's nice. Susan says, I was fortunate we had both art and music in school and some exposure to speech and acting. Nice. Andrew says, thankfully they got a new team and the designer was pretty forward thinking in the end. That's good. Okay. So I'm going to start showing you some stuff that we have in store. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up the email address here, because if you'd like any of these things, send us an email. All right. It's really easy. The most easy is when you send us a screenshot. So if you take a screenshot with your device of the things you like and send them in an email, it's much easier than you saying, oh, I want those yellow beads that were kind of pear-shaped and they had speckles on them. That's okay. I can maybe get it from that description, but maybe not. All right. So it's always better if you can take a screenshot. The first thing I want to show you are these Lithuanian amber beads. So these are lovely. And they come in different sizes, holes drilled through them. And we have this. Let me show you. We have these ones. We have this color. Now, some of these are also in the online store. So you can check the online store. You can save 20% if they're on the online store through today only. I think these amber beads might be on there. And we have this style here. All right. And then we also have, I'm not going to unpack these because they are tiny and a little bit messy sometimes. But these little chips, if you like chips, we have these little dark colored, like this one, dark colored chips. All right. So let me go ahead. I'm going to put these back in their bag. So we have those. I love these light ones. I'm a fan of this color myself, even though I don't like yellow that much, which is weird, but I like these lighter colored ones. But a lot of people really like these dark ones too. Oops, I dropped one on the floor. So we have those, and you might like those for fall and autumn inspiration. Those are some really lovely colors. The other thing I have is this, which hopefully you can see how pretty those are. These I know are not in the online store. This is sunstone. These are faceted ovals. They're $90 for the strand. I only have one strand. Andrew says he doesn't like yellow, but we're going to show he picks out yellow beads. I know. I don't know why. Yellow doesn't always look great on me because of my light skin coloring, but I do love the color, I guess. Donna says, I did help the drama department in college when they did musicals or plays. I did their makeup. It was so much fun. That's cool. Susan says, before I forget, it is banned book week. Do something slightly subversive. Read a book. any book, right? Good idea. Good idea. Marion says, we had a drama club in high school, which I participated in. I even got to go to a workshop at our university. Nice. Our school, I will say, our school was very, very, we had an art room and an art class that everyone had to take some art classes, which was nice. We did have a music department. We had a drama department. So my high school, I have to say, was pretty good that way still, but a lot of schools around us did not have what we had. But of course, sports in our school took over pretty much everything. So isn't this lovely? Beautiful, kind of these, kind of peachy brown colors, nice to add. You can make nice earrings with these for autumn, and you could sell those earrings for a good bit. Just use two stones, make some earrings. So these are $90 for the strand. I only have this one strand left. That's it. That's the last one. Look at that flash. That is some nice stuff right there. Next up, and I believe these are in the online store. Next, I'm just going to show you the whole hank of them here that I have. These beautiful vintage Czech Glass strands. I love this kind of wavy, gravy kind of style. Gorgeous beads. These are only $6 a strand. $6. This is pre-pandemic pricing, everyone. $6 a strand for 8 beads of that beautiful vintage Czech glass. This is old stuff. I say old. It's probably from the 90s or so, so it's younger than me still. But for glass beads, these are vintage. Probably actually antique at this point. But I love that kind of look. I love that shape. Susan says, I like that long drill bead style, right? Yeah, especially when it's got that wavy in it. I like that. So we have those. Some other vintage Czech that we have. Like I said, check the online store before you send these, because we might have them and you can save 20% off the online store. We have these ones, which are a little bit kind of the brown, greenish brown actually, and red. And I love these a lot. Man, I'm so used to being able to pull these up closer. It's so weird. They did something to the camera system that you can't focus close. I don't know why. So anyway, there are those. Those are $6 a strand as well. Let's see. Amanda says, I love that shape. It's not easy finding tubes, rice, and longer beads, right? But this vintage stuff is great. And once these are gone, they're gone. So definitely check out if you type in vintage Czech glass in the online store, a lot should pop up. And these might be in there. If they're in there, grab them there. You'll save 20% off with code anniversary. If not, send us an email and we'll get you these. Of course, in-store stuff doesn't have the sale. Andrew says, one of the things that always boggles my mind is that all my life people have been telling me that you couldn't make a living in the creative world, but they'd spend so much time and money on sports programs. Maybe 1 or 2 would go on to professional sports, and those who did usually got hurt and had to pivot. But I know hundreds, if not thousands, of people who make a living in the arts. Yeah, right? People don't think about that, but if you go into advertising, you're in the arts. If you go into writing, you're in the arts. If you go into any type of show production or, there's a lot of stuff that falls back to the arts more than it falls back to sports. Of course, sports apparently is what brings in the money, but I think only because we've trained our society to do that. If we had more art openings and exhibitions at school and music programs, and I think people would do those too. I know I would over a football game. Even though every once in a while a football game's fine. But people generally find jobs less in sports and more in the arts somewhere. Okay, so there's that. At one point, our art program, Andrew says, didn't have a budget for materials, so we had to dumpster dive. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that insane? Okay, what's next? I have a lot of stuff, everybody, so we might be here for a while. So hopefully you'll keep tuning in and keep watching, and hopefully I'm not too boring. I know you're talking amongst yourselves, which is great. I love that. Next up, we have these Czech Glass kitty beads. Cats. Cats. Who doesn't love a cat? And these are dual-sided. So you have the face and the design in the front, and then you have the back. So they have two sides to them. I know sometimes Czech Glass beads are cut in the back. They lay flat in the back. So these are not. These are fully two-sided. I only have 3 strands of these available, and they are $8.75 a strand. There's a lot of beads on there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 beads on there. $8.75 for the strand of these beautiful ambery colored cat beads. All right. Andrew says, I'm not knocking sports. They're great, especially if you are into them. But if folks are serious about vocational training, the arts is where it's at. It's true. My nieces and nephews, they play sports. I go to their games. My brother played baseball even into college and always enjoyed seeing games. We have nothing against it. It's just that we think, you know, when people actually graduate and actually do things, more people actually do things in the arts than in sports. All right, so we have these cat beads available, $8.75 a strand. Just send us an email if you'd like those. You can take a screenshot. That helps so that we can actually see what you're talking about. Next up, more Czech Glass. It's going to be the day of Czech Glass for right now. I have a lot of Czech Glass to show you. So next up are these beads. These are Czech Glass. They're just kind of a, I don't even know what cut you would call that. It's just kind of a, I don't know. It's faceted, you know. Simple cut, I don't know. Beautiful ambery, kind of light ambery color with some of the brown texture on top and bottom of the beads. These are $9 a strand. I think these are beautiful. I have only 3 strands of these left as well. Hopefully everybody can see this. I hope it's focusing okay. Let me know if it's not. $9 per strand. Next up, English cut. Haven't seen a lot of English cut lately. We have these English cuts. They are $5 only a strand. You know that's old pricing. These have been here a while. Beautiful English cut, Czech Glass. Great for fall. Only 2 strands available. Love, love, love that color. Oh, this will help. Maybe this will help with some of the color. That usually color corrects a little better with that in there. So there are those. English cut Czech Glass. And more English cut. I have a few more strands in this color. There are actually 2 colors here. There's 1 darker one and 2 lighter ones. In the English cut, these are each $5 as well. If you'd like any of these things that you're seeing, take a screenshot, send us that screenshot to info@allegorygallery.com. All right. So there you go. English cut, Czech Glass. And these are some of my very favorites right here. These smooth rondelles. Smooth rondelles, $6. $6 smooth rondelles. Bonnie, if you have any questions about things that are not in the live, please just send us an email and I can check for things for you. We do a ton of personal shopping for people via email and via like FaceTime or Zoom. So whenever we're doing a live and you want to know if we have something else, just send us an email and we'll take a look and get back to you on it. All right. I don't know that I have any really sterling silver class. Sterling people are not paying for right now, unfortunately. It's really hard in our area, at least, to get people to pay the money that sterling silver would take. All right. So here we are, $6. Andrew has some. So send us an email, Bonnie, and we can go through Andrew's stash. And these are multicolor, fun. I love these so much. You see all those other colors coming out. Beautiful. Strands of Czech Glass, $6 a strand. All right. I can move this up so it's less blurry, but I don't want it to be too far away either. But I also want to see moving. Otherwise, I could just take a picture and that wouldn't be as good. So hopefully I can get this set to the right height. Harry says it's being blurry off the board. So if I get this up maybe a little bit, I can actually show them to you without being too blurry. We have these, 2 different colors, only 1 strand of each, $8 for this one, and $9.50 for the larger one. So this has multi-sizes on it. Norma says, hard to choose a favorite banned book. One that stands out is A Wrinkle in Time. Favorite when I was in high school. I can't believe it's banned now. I know, right? I don't know what they're banning that book about, but that's one of my all-time favorite books. And $9.50 for this strand, but great colors for autumn. All right. And then we have Czech Glass again, obviously. These are $9 a strand for these small kind of pear-like drops. These are all these kind of golden tones. A lot of golden tones I picked out for today. That's an order from the online store. Thank you so much. Somebody out there is ordering. And these have almost a greenish tint to them as well. A little bit, I'd say. All right. So only 3 strands of those available, and they are $6 each. All right. Then these are extremely popular, usually. Slow down a little bit on them, but these pear-shaped beads. The pear-shaped beads, these are green pear-shaped beads. They have some green and some kind of amber tones to them on the very extreme edges. These are $6.50 a strand only. Andrew says, we got an invitation to go to the Czech Republic this fall to buy beads. Had declined since we are overextended. Maybe next year. Yeah, you know, we got a lot going on. Got a lot going on and not a ton of funds to do it all. So we have to pick and choose our battles sometimes. So these are beautiful pear beads, $6.50. But we would love to go to the Czech Republic and see all that stuff happen. I would love it. Plus, that is where my family comes from, actually Slovakia. Still, same area, right? You can still jump over into Slovakia and pay a visit, right? So there are those. And also in the pear shape, we have these bright yellow with the gold kind of mercury finish. Andrew says, today I talked to someone who is a tool manufacturer and said I could hang out at her studio. It'd be great. We'll see if it happens. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. So we have 4 strands of these pear-shaped ones at $6 each if you're interested in those. Great things for making your autumn and fall and even some Halloween designs, right? So I'm going to leave these here because the next ones are similar but different. But if you didn't have them to compare, you might not be able to easily see the difference. So here we have these. These are $6 as well. They still have the gold mercury kind of finish, mercury glass finish, but they're a little bit darker in color. They're not the bright yellow. They have a darker kind of brownish yellow to them. Andrew says they have an opaque core, which makes them a little transparent than the matte finish with the gold speck. So they almost glow. And these are really nice. So if you'd like any of these, take a screenshot and send us an email with that screenshot to info@allegorygallery.com. Let us know how many you want. Also, please include your shipping address so we know where we're shipping to, if you're a new person or if you've moved. All right. So there are those. And Andrew says it's got the juice. The little kid with the corn, the little corn ambassador. He is so cute. Talking about the corn juice. It's got the juice. Okay, next up, we have these large fire polished rondelles in Czech Glass. These are kind of a green yellow. Again, that green yellow that Andrew says I go for, right? I do, I guess, because I picked these out today too. So these are really fun. Whoops, as I knocked the camera. These are really fun. These are only $7 a strand. $7 a strand. These are old prices. I pulled out some stuff from the bottom of the trays that was buried over summer and found some of these fall autumn colors. Bonnie says, I love that kid, right? So I have 3 strands only of these available, $7 each. Send us an email if you'd like any. And again, I'm going to ask you right now, please hit that share button. If you've not hit the share button already, please hit the share button. While we were sick with COVID, our viewership and the algorithm went way down. It's not sending out our notices even to people to let them know that we're live. So we'd appreciate it, sorry, if you would hit that share button and share it with your friends. Next up, we have these beautiful 2 strands of Czech Glass, $8 a strand. I'm not sure, is this cathedral cut? I can't remember what cut this is, but it's a beautiful color. Dark ambery color. That would go good with that amber I showed earlier. Right, some of the amber there, maybe a light amber paired with that. Beautiful. Marianne says, I get notices for the lives. Are you getting them on Facebook or are you getting the notices for YouTube? Because I know you're on YouTube with us, so thank you. Are you getting them both places? Because I look at I often get the notice for YouTube and it comes through my email, which is good. And I usually get those fairly on time. But the Facebook notices, I don't always get those until usually sometimes 10, 15 minutes into somebody's live, it'll show up. And sometimes it doesn't show up. I follow a lot of people and I rarely get notices. It's weird. Suzanne gets both. Good. Some people were saying they were not getting notices anymore. So hopefully that was just a momentary glitch. And hopefully now they see that we're trying to get back on schedule. They'll start sending those out better. These melons are gorgeous. These melons, they have that really kind of glassy look. They're transparent. Beautiful. Marianne says Facebook is usually later after the live has been on for 10 minutes. See, I hate that. Like, if I'm on and they're on, tell me they're on. And these ones have a copper, they have a copper inside the little melon, little dimples. They have a copper coating. So these are really, really beautiful. All right. Harry says he got one for this one too. Donna got both. So that's good. I'm glad that they're going out again because there were people saying they were not getting them. And that was starting to worry us. We've been back for about a week now. So hopefully this is starting on, I think, the 2nd week back. So hopefully it's starting to realize we're here and sending out those notices. These are $6 a strand if you would like those. Norma says, I'm only getting the Facebook notices even though I watch on YouTube. So when I get the Facebook notice, I go to YouTube. Thanks, Norma. Make sure if you didn't hit the bell on YouTube, that would be why you're not getting notices. They only give notices when you hit that bell. So if you're on YouTube and you've not hit the little bell, hit that. And then they'll send you a notice to your email or a little pop-up, depending on how you have your settings. Donna gets the Facebook notice first and then the YouTube. See, that's interesting. Here are more melons. These are opaque melons in this beautiful kind of burnt yellow color with the bronze. The little dimples have bronze in them on these ones. But I just think these are beautiful colors to use for the autumn when you're starting to get into that kind of brown and yellow and the kind of green, the paler greens, and just some of those deep, rich reds. Like leaf colors. These are leaf colors, y'all. If you're in an area where the leaves change, like us, we're very fortunate to be in this area. I hope we get a good leaf show this year, but we'll see. We'll see. Are your leaves changing where you are? We're starting to lose a lot of our leaves already, and they haven't even gotten a chance to change yet. These are $6 a strand, by the way, if I didn't say that. 3 strands available. Then we have these little rounds, little drooks. And these are black with that kind of, I don't know what color you want to call that. It's not quite brown. It's not quite yellow. Beautiful. Suzanne says, what leaf change? Not in New Orleans, right? No. Oh, flutes. Okay, so these are not dimples. They are flutes, and the flutes in these ones are bronze. All right. Bonnie says, just started to change in Minnesota. Andrew says, I've seen some bright reds. Yeah, right across from the cottage, we have some nice bright red trees starting to happen. Susan says, no leaf changing just yet here. Still very green and hot. We are, they're starting to around here, but not all of them. And I hope we don't just lose the leaves before they really get to change well. Sometimes that happens too. So these ones are $4.50 a strand. If you like these little drooks, I only have 4 strands available. All right. What else do I have? These may not necessarily all be autumn colors, but I just love these shapes. These little rectangles that are drilled through the center. So I have 2 darker yellow ones, and they have a little bit of AB coating, so they flash. And then we have the bright yellow ones. So there's 1 strand of the bright yellow. Then there's 1 strand of the green, and they have that slight AB flash to them. Then we have a strand of this like kind of tealy color. So these are available, and these are $9. I think they're all $9 a strand. Sometimes they differ by color, but these don't. So these are all $9 a strand. Amanda says, weather is weird here. 31 degrees Celsius today. What? That's about 90 something Fahrenheit with brown dry leaves on the ground in Ontario. Not changing in Kentucky yet. Starting to get cold at night, though, hopefully soon. Yeah, some of our nights are getting chilly, even down into the 50s, which is kind of nice. Bonnie says these all look nice together, right? That's why I wanted to show you them all. Even though they're not all fall colors necessarily, they look beautiful. I love these. These are some of my favorite ones. I like that shape. I think it's fun. So if you want any of these, send us a screenshot or a very good description of what you're looking for in an email to info@allegorygallery.com. Amanda says, I'm ready for sweater weather, right? Yes. Andrew says, I need to dig around and find some bigger pots to bring in the geraniums. Yeah, we put geraniums out at Star Cottage Studio on the the outside flower boxes under the windows. And this year was just a hard year because we were sick and we were so busy, and they kind of got, they didn't do as well as they did the year before. And so we kept them in all winter, taking care of them so we could put them back out, and then they got put out, and then they did not do so well. So we got to get them back in to get them back to feeling good. All right, next up, I thought you might like these. We have some owls. Now these owls are, like I said in the beginning, some of Czech Glass has the flat back, and these owls are flat back. They are not designed on the back. So you have the one side. These are $10 a strand only, and They are wonderful owls. Only 4 strands of those available. I thought those would be good for Halloween or for jewelry making for autumn. These little lovely little yellow owls with the coppery insets. Andrew says it's okay. The geraniums were the biggest ones, so now they're normal size. Yeah, they kind of fought hard to to lose some weight, I guess. But we got to get them in and get them taken care of. We were taking care of them all winter, keeping them safe. I would rotate them in the windows to make sure they all got their nice sun and spin them around so they get strong and tall. And they fight for the sun one way and then turn them so they fight the other way. And then we put them outside and didn't do so well. There's another online store order. Thank you so much, whoever you are out there. And Suzanne says the owls are perfect for fall, right? Right. So we only have 4 strands available. If you'd like a strand, send us an email with a screenshot, or just say you want the owls, because we're only doing one thing of owls today. $10 per strand. Perfect for fall. Perfect for earrings. Perfect for bracelets because they have that nice flat back. All right. And then these, who doesn't love these colors, right? So there are 2 different ones here. We have the red with a transparent. See, some of these are transparent. They have the transparent edges, and these are like little swallows on them. And here we have the red and orange ones. All right, so these are $26.50 a strand for any of them. They are a little more expensive. These we imported ourselves, and when no one else in the country had them yet, and so they were a little bit more expensive to import. But I love them. I think they're wonderful. These remind me, and one of the reasons, one, the color, their fall colors, kind of that nice fiery reds and yellows you get, and oranges, but also like the swallows. When my grandfather passed away, we were helping my grandmother mow the fields, and my grandfather used to mow the fields all the time. And it always happens, kind of close to fall, you get the one last mowing in, and you would watch all the swallows would, well, not just swallows, other birds too, would follow me and him on the tractor, because as you're mowing the fields, all the little rodents, so you get hawks and things following, and all the grasshoppers and the locusts and the crickets would all get uncovered, and they'd start jumping around. So the birds would follow the tractor so that they could eat, and they got to know that the tractor meant food. So anytime we were mowing, you would see, and when I was a little kid, I remember watching him and my grandma explaining why there were always birds like swarming around the tractor and following him. And so that's what these remind me of, which is why I really like these beads. But $26.50 each. And they are beautiful, beautiful. Bonnie says, I've never seen those. We have other colors in some of these too, like purples, and I think we have some greens. So if you're interested in other colors, send me an email if you want them, and I can show you some other colors. But I picked these because these are the most fall-like colors right now. Bonnie says, that's a great story. Thank you. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. The stuff that you remember from your childhood, and then you kind of get to take part in yourself. So I watched my grandfather mow and learned about that. And then as I was mowing, at one point I looked up and there were all these birds following me. It was just kind of a generational thing. So there are those. And we also have these skulls in Czech Glass, and they have a little dimple, like we have a dimple in the back of our head. I don't know what that dimple is in the back of your head, where your skull goes in, or your spine goes into your skull, but these have them, and then they have the skull face on the other side. So these ones are $8.25 only, $8.25 a strand. And I have a few strands of these. I just picked one to show. I think we have 4 or 5 strands of these. So if you're interested in these would be great for Halloween earrings. Right? And something a little different. I don't know that I've seen this kind of skull pattern much before. Donna says it's a wonderful memory. Thank you. Andrew says that flat backs are useful. Talking about the owls again, you can layer things and they'll sit flush. Dimensional backs sometimes have things sit up. Yeah, sometimes the flat backs are, very useful. Susan says, that's what happens when my hubs turns over the soil in our kitchen garden bed. The birds like him to do that, right? Yeah. Andrew says, nowadays there are a lot of conversations about generational trauma, but sometimes good things get passed down too, right? Yeah, I have a lot of good memories, thankfully. Occipital bun. So there it is. That's the occipital bun on these. Each one has it and has a gold coloring to it, and then they have the gold faces on the front. All right, so we have those too, if you want. And I couldn't not show these leaves again. We have these beautiful leaves. I'm just going to leave them here in the tray because it's focusing better on them this way. But we have them in all different colors. So we have these kind of orangey, green, yellowish ones. That yellow-green color again with the orange. We have green with that kind of yellow-brown color. We have these kind of ambery ones, just ambery. We have kind of almost a gray, silvery gray with the red. We have the brighter green with kind of the yellow on it. We have these kind of, and I think these are really dark blue. They look black, but I believe, if I'm correct, they're really dark blue with green. And then we have these ones, which are some of my favorites, with this kind of dark green and dark maroon color. And these ones with the, this is kind of a black or dark blue with a kind of green-gray color. These are mostly all listed also on the online store. So you can save 20% on these ones if you get them in the online store. And if you don't see the color you want in the online store, you can request it. But if you do request these, please remind me that you can get 20% off these in store too, because I'm not sure if we have all the colors still in the online store, but they should be there. They should be there for you. You need to sort some trays. Some of these trays are getting wild. But these are all only $12 a strand. And look, look how many are on a strand. That's a lot of flowers for 12 bucks, right? That's a lot of earrings. It's a lot of jewelry making for $12. These are some large, and these are large strands. These are not normal, like Czech Glass strands are often, kind of much smaller than this, maybe even half size sometimes. So these are nice long strands of Czech Glass. So all those leaves, great for fall. Get them now. If you get them in the, if you get them in the online store, 20% off. All right. I don't know why it keeps not wanting to focus right. Makes me crazy, making me crazy. That's what this new phone is going to be like. It takes beautiful pictures, everyone. I will say that. But I'm not crazy about how this is doing the back. Now, I also pulled, like I said, I started pulling some of William's favorite things because I thought I was going to do a William's favorite session. But I didn't just do a William's favorite. I did some of my favorite fall stuff. So we have some of these too. These are electroplated quartz. So these are quartz underneath, clear quartz underneath, but electroplated with fun colors. So we have purple. We have beautiful blue. We have this very striking, almost translucent, well, it is translucent, light blue, kind of gray blue color. And it has kind of an AB finish on it too. So you'll get different colors in that. Then we have this kind of orangey peachy color, which is, I think, one of my favorites, even though it's not a favorite color of mine, but I love how it looks. Kind of that plating on that clear quartz. And then we have this not translucent yellow. So those are fun. Whoops, I keep kicking and knocking this stand around. Andrew says, I've been thinking about doing some basic beading classes locally, particularly seed bead classes. I have shown a lot of techniques online, but it's different in person. I got a request last weekend. There, and see, maybe Andrew's going to do, maybe we'll offer even more classes. Who knows? Who knows? Stay tuned, right? So each of these are $11.25 only. And these are full strands. These are big strands. I have a ruler here. So let's get on the inches side, because most of us are going to look at the strand size in inches. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. These are 16-inch strands. These are full strands. So there you go. All these colors. Again, I think this is my favorite. I love this peachy orangey color. Amanda says, add an AG pendant, and voila, you have a great necklace. It's true. You could just restring these, add a pendant at it. And these are, if you're not noticing, these are graduated. So they start off small on the ends, they go to bigger stones in the center, and then get small at the other end. Right? So smaller on the ends, bigger stones in the center. Not all of them do that. They kind of do. The blue one doesn't do it as much as some of the others, but they're generally kind of graduated that way. Suzanne says, I'd love it if my local bead store offered seed bead classes. They used to, but stopped for COVID, and their seed bead expert left. We used to do them a long time ago, and yeah, we don't have a seed beater really much anymore, other than Andrew, who's starting to get into it more. Andrew says, one of the metalsmithing teachers was talking about retiring from travel teaching. So if we get her setups, maybe we'll do some basic metalsmithing classes. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. So there are those, if you like those, $11.25 each only, which I think is an extraordinary deal for those. And then we have various sizes of eagle eye beads, which are really nice. I don't know why people aren't crazy for these. I love them. They have a beautiful gray-black look to them. They have some flash sometimes here and there. Not as much as like a labradorite would have, but sometimes they have a little bit in there. Like this one, you can see it pretty good there. And I just love these. These would be great when you're working with the blacks and the oranges from Halloween. Add a little bit of gray in there. Or if you're looking for like a stormy gray, these are beautiful for stormy gray. Suzanne's is such a great neutral. It is, it really is. And we have these in 3 or 4 different sizes in the online store. So check those out. Oh, I just pulled that tag right off. $20 for this size, which is a 10 millimeter. But I think we go up to 12 millimeter, and I think we have 8 millimeter. So there's at least 3 different sizes in the online store. You can get those to 20% off if you order them right there. So get them that way. Another thing that's in the online store, I believe, is amethyst. We have gorgeous, big, chunky, nice amethyst. And these are $28 a strand for the 12 millimeter. But we have various sizes of amethyst in the online store in the smooth rounds. And that purple is a good color for your Halloween stuff too. Because purple and orange together, they look really nice together, right? So we have various sizes of amethyst. These are $28 in store. If they are still in the online store, you can get them 20% off. So check that out. The 20% off code is anniversary. That was for our 11th anniversary here at the store. So get those now. If they're still there. If they're not, send me an email, and I'll take a look at what we have in the store for whatever you want. And then I have 1 strand of these, and I love them, so I'm just going to show them. These are Aquamarine Chips. As I knock the camera around again, Aquamarine Chips, and these are nice. These are nice. Sometimes chips are, kind of so. These are really nice. Some of these have some nice clarity to them. Like, look at some of those very clear chips. I only have this 1 strand of these left. So I wanted to show it too, because it deserves to be seen. It's only $18. So these are Aquamarine smooth chips, smooth pebbles. I apparently threw my penny somewhere. There it is, under the pile of rocks there. So there they are. Andrew says, over the weekend, we ran into someone I taught basic and middle smithing to, and they were set up and selling their work all these years later. We were chatting, and they said they just bought their first house. It's such a lovely feeling to know that we played a small part in someone's creative journey, and that their lives have been dramatically changed and enhanced by it. Yeah, isn't that nice? That's what we're all about. That's what we want to do. Help you be creative, and possibly, you know, who knows where you go from there. We've had a lot of people who've started buying things from us and working with us and learning things from us, and then they start their own business. We've helped a number of people file the paperwork for starting a business because we went through it ourselves, and, you know, it wasn't easy to figure out. So we helped a number of people start their own businesses that way. All right, so there is that. And then I want to show you the trays of these 6-inch strands in all different, you know, all different stones, all different colors, all different shapes. These are all in the online store as well. So we have some fluorite, some beautiful fluorite kind of squares, diamond shaped. We have some cornelian. We have the tiger eye, all different kinds of things. I think this is Amazonite. Is that what Amazonite? It is. Amazonite. And we have these, bronzite, opalite. We have these in the online store. We also have, let me move this out of the way, because we have a whole nother tray of it. These are all in the online store. They're all, I think, $6, and you would get 20% off of them right now. So that's a freaking good deal, everybody. I'm just telling you. That's a really good deal. Sodalite. We have the turquoise howlite, dyed howlite. We have the regular howlite. We have mookaite. We have rose quartz here. This is, I think, rhodonite. Is that rhodonite? I should know that. Rhodonite. Yeah, I don't want to guess. We have the red tiger eye here. So beautiful things. There's black obsidian, picture jasper. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trays. So these you can get in store. You can also save 20% tonight. In the online store, if you get any of these, they're all in there. Look for those strands. It's easiest to look by the stone you're looking for. And those little short strands should come up in whatever sizes and shapes we still have left in the online store. So that is my little show for today. I hope you like that. Andrew says, sometimes it feels like we're shouting in the wind and you don't really know if what you're doing actually matters. But it's nice feeling to know that what you put out in the world actually does matter, right? So let me flip this camera around real quick again so I can finish up with a few things I have to say, and then we'll say a quick goodbye. All right, there's looking at my nose. Hello, everybody. Let me wind this. There we go. So hopefully you like that. I hope that was, you found something that you liked, maybe. If not, we had a few people go in the online store and send us orders during this, so that's great. Thank you so much. Remember, today is the last day of the sale, so you can save 20% off every single thing in our online store by using code ANNIVERSARY in the discount code section. Make sure to type that in. It'll save you the 20%. Big day tomorrow for the TGBE. We have a kit release. Kit release day is tomorrow. And that's going to be the kit for the next TGBE event coming up. All right. So make sure you stay tuned for that. What else? Oh, we're going to be closed in the physical store tomorrow. I have my day job, my other job. So one of our one helper who normally helps us out is out of town. So it's going to be nobody here. Andrew has other plans tomorrow. So we will be closed at Allegory Gallery in the physical store tomorrow. But I think Andrew is still going to be able to do his live. It'll probably be a live on the TGBE kit, I'm guessing. So we have some things prepared for that. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And I think that's all I've got. Let me see what else everyone's saying here. Suzanne sent an email. Thank you so much, Suzanne. I will check that out. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for ordering from us. Andrew says, one of our customers used to come in and make earrings to help pay for her daughter's dance classes. The sales allowed her to pay for the classes. I saw them over the weekend, and the little girl's all grown up and taking classes at the Juilliard now. So see, things can happen, right? Things can happen. You never know where creativity is going to take you and what it's going to offer you and offer the ones you love in your life. And that's why it's important to us that we're here, physically here, not just virtually, not just an online bead store. You know, we're not opposed to doing that if we absolutely have to. We're not going to bring down the whole company if the physical store isn't carrying its weight, but it would be very sad times for us. We like the teaching component. We like the instruction. We like, you know, being here for people to be able to ask questions and showing them how to do things. And that's very important to us. So we're doing that. That's going to be a bigger component for our 2023 plans. So next year, coming up on YouTube, tutorials, demonstrations, things like that. That's a big component to what we want to do as far as instruction-wise, and just generally what we want to do on YouTube. So that's why we're asking you, please watch on YouTube. Please help us get there. You've all helped us get to 1,000 subscribers, which is an amazing thing because we started at one point at like 300 or 400 and we got all the way up to 1,000. Now we just need you to watch on YouTube and get those watch hours for us. Andrew said, like Kendra Scott, she got her start in a bead store. Now she's got more money than Beyonce. You never know what will happen, right? I would like to have more money than Beyonce, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. You know, mostly because we don't just sit on our money, we reinvest it and put it out there into the world. Like everything we do, we have enough money to live off of, but we buy a building here so we can have a jewelry studio and make more things and be more creative and hopefully get it to the point where we can offer classes there. And then we buy another building to do a jewelry gallery so that we can take people's work and show them and give them another platform to show from and really spotlight. So, you know, that's, you know, we are big believers in reinvesting that money and, you know, doing good, as much good as we can in the creative world and the community. Yes, of course, we build a life of it, out of it. And, you know, in whatever way that's selfish, I don't know. You know, we have to live off of it too. But everything else goes back out there for all of you and, you know, to keep this all afloat and to continue pressing on. So we appreciate your support very much. Thank you so much. We love you out there. We would not be here, and we know that we would not be here, especially through this pandemic, without all of you who watch these videos and share these videos and, you know, purchase from these videos. And we really do appreciate that. Sharing is caring. You don't always have to make a purchase. We know times are tough for everybody. But those shares help because you might find somebody else who does have money, or you might find somebody who needs something else. And, you know, one sale can turn into a lifelong customer, and we know that. Andrew says, I don't think it's selfish. We got cats to support, right? It's true. It's true. He says, maybe they'll remember us when, right? You make that big money. Remember us. Don't forget us. Our little store here in Ligonier. All right. So thank you all so very much for tuning in. Thank you for chatting. I've seen all your comments. I haven't read them all, but it's been nice. You're talking about books and sharing books and sharing stories, and we really love that too. So thank you again. We hope that you enjoyed this, and if you see something you like, please send us an email and we'll get back to you. I'll probably be going through emails tomorrow night. I don't know if I'll get through them today, but we got a plan for the kit reveal tomorrow. And I have my other job tomorrow, so probably tomorrow night before I get to anything, or Wednesday during the day. All right. Thank you all so very much for tuning in, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. All right, everybody.